Tim Phoenix and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Catherine Minor. Please call me Kate Mimi. I am thrilled to be here with you today because it's a Monday, and what we do on Monday on my YouTube channel is that we take medical conditions, I call it medical jargon, and we break it into simple terms that we can understand, because in Team Phoenix we believe that if you're informed about your well-being, then you're forewarned. And a day that is not a Monday, we talk about healthcare workers and what matters to them. So right now, it is all about your well-being. So shall we discuss kidney disease and diabetes? Hi Team Phoenix, I'm happy that you've joined me on this. Last time we saw that there are two major causes of chronic kidney disease. Not that there aren't others, but the two main ones are actually diabetes and hypertension. Last time we took a quick look at the hypertension, which is also known as high blood pressure, and we're going to be talking about diabetes today. So what on God's green earth is diabetes? Most people say it's the sugar disease or it's the metabolism disease. All that is jargon, and I told you on Team Phoenix we don't speak jargon. We speak simple English where you're able to understand. Diabetes is simply a disorder of food metabolism. Okay, when we eat, this is what it means. When we eat, our body needs to absorb nutrients from the food that we eat, whether that food will be from proteins, like a slice of meat, legumes, starch, vitamins, whatever that we have eaten. Our body will need to utilize that food in the simplest form that it can, and in this case it is glucose. So if you take a hefty meal of rice, for example, it needs to be digested from the time it's in your mouth all the way into your gut, and then your body is going to absorb it in the form of glucose. Now, for your body to be able to absorb glucose, and this glucose, remember, it is what we need for energy. It is what we need for us to be able to do the things that we need to do. It is what our brain needs for it to be able to function, that is besides oxygen. It is what our heart needs for it to be able to contract. Now, when we have glucose, it cannot be absorbed by our body cells without the assistance of a very important hormone called insulin. Insulin is a hormone released by our pancreas. Okay, you need to realize that diabetes is much more than a sugar problem. It is an insulin problem. So for everybody out there, Team Phoenix, we agreed that we have to be informed. I want you to say insulin. Thank you very much. So diabetes is an insulin problem. If we continue having too much glucose in our body, see, you've eaten, but your body cells are not utilizing the glucose. So that is because we do not have insulin. Team Phoenix, in diabetes, several things can go wrong with regards to insulin, that is. Number one, we can have little to no production of insulin. We have just said that our body cells will require insulin for them to be able to absorb the glucose that we have given our body through the food that we have eaten, or even through the body breaking down things like fats. We store a lot of energy sources in our body. So that process of breaking down is one thing, absorbing is an entirely different thing, and this is where insulin comes in. That's why I've asked you to say insulin after me. So ladies and gentlemen and everybody else in between, you need to realize that if we have little or no insulin, glucose will be floating free of charge in our blood system, not helping us at all, but just causing a lot of chaos. So number one, our body cells will be hungry. You will be feeling starved because the brain will not be having any glucose. But is the problem really glucose? No, we have glucose in our body already. In our bloodstream. It is only that the cells cannot absorb it because we do not have the helper. And this helper is what we are calling insulin. Okay, that's one thing. Number two, we can have your body cells resisting insulin themselves. For example, for everybody who is, for some people who are obese or they have too much subcutaneous, that is fat tissue, sometimes insulin becomes quite resistant in them. Okay, so yes, you have insulin. Our pancreas is releasing insulin. You are eating, so that means you have glucose in your bloodstream, but the cells of your body have decided, by the way, we are not even going to work with you. We don't need this insulin. You are going to be very resistant. You are not going to feel any effect of this insulin. I think, Team Phoenix, if I were to explain the relationship between glucose and insulin, I would use a lock and a key. Think about a padlock. A padlock is a cell of a body. Okay, for each and every body cell, we have a padlock. For this padlock to be opened, we need a key. And this key is our insulin. So without insulin, we're not going to be able to unlock this padlock for the glucose to go in to help our cells. Okay, so think about that. When you're thinking about diabetes, so many things can go wrong with the padlock. We could have a bad key for the padlock. We could have that we have rust on the padlock. We could be that we don't even have a key to start with. So that is the relationship that I'm trying to draw your attention to when I'm talking about diabetes being an insulin problem. Now, ladies and gentlemen and everybody else in between, when we have too much glucose floating in our blood system, it is also going to affect each and every other system in our body. Glucose molecules are not meant to remain free in the blood system, so they will look for places to settle. The first place they will settle, or probably over time, these places will include behind the eye. That is why some diabetes people will complain about blurry vision, and sometimes if we don't correct it, blindness. The other places that these glucose molecules will settle is actually the kidneys, the surface of the kidney. It is well supplied with blood, with blood. Remember the sieve that we are talking about, and we said that those are blood capillaries. So blood glucose is going to settle there. And eventually what will happen is that the molecules of glucose, this glucose that we have refused to absorb, perhaps because of lack of insulin or resistance to insulin, is going to corrode the membrane of our sieve. You remember that sieve that we were talking about? Because I'm looking for the right word, and corroding is what I can use as a layman's term. So we have started to mess with our sieve. That is our filtering mechanism in the kidney, and that is what is going to end up damaging the ability of these kidneys to filter out excess waste, toxins, water. All this is going to be affected. So, Team Phoenix, this is exactly what happens, and this will not happen overnight. It happens over a period of time. So somebody who was passing urine, they will start passing little amounts of urine. The urine will be more concentrated. If you're not careful, it will even start having blood in it. And that is simply how diabetes will lead to kidney disease. And I have said it occurs over a period of time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everybody else in between, Team Phoenix, how do you sort this problem out? Because it is one thing to understand, and I'm very happy because you have understood what is happening. But then again, how do you correct it? What is the remedy here? What is the remedy? How can you prevent it if you already have diabetes? And how do you go about it? Okay. The question that we are asking is, how do we go about it? Catherine, yes, you've told us what is happening with diabetes and how our kidneys are going to be affected. But what is the solution? The solution is we need to manage the diabetes, because this is what is giving us kidney disease, isn't it? We need to attack it. And how do we attack it? Through following medications that we have been prescribed for, regular, consistent exercise. I have to insist on that, because fat cells are resistant to insulin over time. Remember that. But the more you activate them, they start becoming sensitive to insulin. So you need to have regular and consistent. So it is not just about one day you're exercising and the other one you're not. You need to make it a regular habit. And the notion that no pain, no gain does not apply when it comes to therapeutic exercise. If it hurts, then you're doing it wrong. Start small when it comes to exercise. Kindly start small. I am an advocate of walking. I insist that walking is one of the most underappreciated means of exercise. Please start walking. It can take any form that you require. but you need to get active. Seriously, you need to get active. Go to your doctor and check your body mass index, that is the BMI. If your BMI is higher than it's supposed to be, you need to seriously think about cutting back on weight. If you've already had diabetes, please continue doing these things that we are talking about. Follow the diet. Now, there is no particular diet that is a diabetic diet. This is another misconception that is out there in the world. As long as somebody who has diabetes know the amount of calories they are taking, and they know when they are taking them, according to the doctor, according to what they have been told, they are able to enjoy food as it is, and they are able to make adjustments. So that kind of boring, bland diet, calling it diabetic, it is obsolete at the moment. That is what we mean. The other thing that you need to do is stick to your medication. If it is insulin injections that you have been prescribed for, kindly follow the injections like you're supposed to. If it is tablets, please do exactly that. This is the only way that you're going to prevent these kidneys of yours from getting damaged by the diabetes. The other thing you must do is at least every 3 months, check a test called HbA1c. It is very important. You need to have your kidneys assessed. You see, the HbA1c test, it is actually telling us for the last 3 months or 12 weeks, this is how your blood sugar has been. So, very low blood sugar, very high blood sugar that is fluctuating all over the place, it is putting you at a very high risk for kidney damage. But if you're able to regulate your blood sugar and the test, this HbA1c test, HbA1c test, when we check it and we check and it tells us that it is within the required level, then we are on the right track. So ladies and gentlemen, my lovely Team Phoenix, I insist that you need to check your HbA1c at least every 3 months. I know the next question will be, Catherine, what is the normal value for HbA1c? And I'll tell you that it must be individualized. I know. Look, diabetes management is not something that we can say the approach is the same for everybody. Diabetes management is individualized. What I have been told to do by the doctor is not what you will be told to do. What I have offered on this channel today is actually general advice. But when it comes to the nitty-gritties of the illness itself, it depends with your values, it depends with your biochemistry, it depends with you and what matters to you. What I'm trying to emphasize on is self-management. However, the HbA1c, whenever you are setting a target with your doctor, let the doctor tell you, by the way, we are aiming for this percentage. We are aiming for these meals, millimoles per liter, or whatever it is. Kindly have that chat with your doctor. Team Phoenix, these are things that you must know. I'm sorry I'm bringing the secrets of medical world to you, but these are tiny little things that I believe if you know, they will help us take care of your kidneys. If we do the HbA1c test and we see that your blood sugar is all over the place, then the doctors will have a chance to adjust your medication. Also, you will be able to know, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Why is this test not coming down? Why is it still up? What is going on? What do I need to do? What about my diet? Am I eating right? Is there something that I'm not doing? Am I exercising? All these things will help you monitor yourself, because with diabetes, in as much as we, the healthcare providers, will help you, it is a lot to do with self-management. And I'm thinking to myself, if you don't know about the HbA1c test, if you don't know about the reality of kidney disease in diabetes, then how are you going to prevent it? And that is why I'm here to remind you about these things. So the gist of the video today was actually to tell you what really goes wrong with diabetes and how the glucose molecules affect our kidneys when we have diabetes, and what to do. And the message is, if we are dealing with diabetes the right way, then we are going to take care of kidney disease, or we are going to slow down the progression if the damage has already begun. So Team Phoenix, that's it for today. I really hope you have understood what I've talked about. Kindly ask me questions in the description, in the comments box. Please ask me whatever you feel you want to ask about diabetes and kidney disease, or just kidney disease in general. Next time, everybody, we're going to talk about something that is not well appreciated, and that is dialysis. We will be looking at dialysis. Yes, we will talk about it as much as possible. I know I might not do only one session. It's going to be more than one session on that, but I will delve into dialysis and talk about it and see what really happens with dialysis and what should people know and how can you support other people who are already on dialysis. So until next time, toodles.